What's up guys, Jason here. I'm back for another YouTube video. Today I'm going to be talking about living in Pattaya, the good and the bad. So I've lived in Pattaya the last 2 months here, and just as a quick side note, I've been living in Pattaya during the whole pandemic right now, and obviously if you're watching this video like a year or two in the future, and there may not be a pandemic right now, I stayed here during a pandemic when pretty much all the nightlife options were closed and everything was quiet. My opinion may differ from what you're experiencing right now if you're watching this video in the future. So I'm just here to let you guys know that, and again, this is my opinion. Please don't take this as fact. This is just my opinion and what I've experienced here. And when I say Pattaya, I also mean, like, I include Jomtien, I include Pratunnak, and those sort of areas as well, all into the city of Pattaya. That's what I refer to it as. So I've got some notes here, and just so I don't get sidetracked, and I'm going to go through each one of them. So I'm going to start off with the good, because why not? I'm a very positive person, so why not? Let's start off with the good. So the good, transport. So transport is very, very easy here in Pattaya. You've got an endless amount of options for transport. You've got the Song Tao, you've got motor taxis, you've got taxis, you've also got your rideshare service apps like Bolt and Grab. They are all here for you as well. So you've got a ton of options for transport, especially if you don't ride a motorbike or you don't drive a car. You are perfectly fine here in Pattaya. Transport is super easy. I've often used the Song Tao, and even just walking. I would often walk. Pattaya is a very walkable city. It's very organized. All the streets and the sois are all very, very well thought out. So it's very, very easy with transport around here, so you don't have to worry about that. That is definitely a positive around here, transport for sure. Next up, accommodation. So you've got really, and when I used the word endless with transport before, you've got an endless amount of choices for accommodation. Like, you can just be walking around the street. If you're looking for a place, just walk around the streets and you'll find heaps and heaps and heaps of places that are available to rent, whether it's a short-term rent or a long-term rent. You can find places to rent just for a month here, and it is very, very affordable as well. It is incredibly affordable. One of the most affordable places for accommodation if you're a foreigner here in Thailand. It is a very foreigner-friendly city, obviously, Pattaya, so you know, lots and lots of places to rent for accommodation, and it is very good quality as well, especially during this pandemic right now. Obviously, Pattaya being a tourist city, there are lots of condos, lots of hotels. They're all pretty much virtually empty, so you won't have a problem finding a very affordable room here for a great price. You will not go wrong with accommodation here in Pattaya, trust me on that. With hotels, you've got heaps of options for hotels, ranging from your 1 or 2 star hotels all the way up to your 3, 4, 5 star hotels. You've got endless amount of options for hotels. You've got hostels, you've got guest houses, all here for you in Pattaya, man. You've got no trouble at all with accommodation. So this next one, I'm going to be saying entertainment. So entertainment, it can be a very subjective thing. When I mean entertainment, I mean things to do here. You've got obviously your nightlife options. You've got Pattaya being a nightlife capital of Thailand, if not Southeast Asia. You've got heaps of nightlife. You've got shopping malls here if you want to go shopping. If you got your girlfriend, you want to go shopping. All the shopping malls here, you've got heaps of them. You've got shopping malls. You've got night markets. You've got places just outside of Pattaya you can go for a day trip. You've got great access to for example, Silver Lake is like a winery just outside, or it's still in Pattaya technically, but it's, you know, a bit of a drive. You've got Silver Lake. You're also in very close proximity to other places like the islands. You've got Koh Lan and all those sort of places around, like Rayong and Sattahip and Bang Sen. Yeah, Chonburi is a very diverse region. So Chonburi is the region, whereas Pattaya is the main city in this region. So you're in close proximity to these other places as well. So you've got just so much entertainment here. Especially if you're a single guy, of course, as well. So you'll never be bored here in the city of Pattaya. Let me just put it that way. The next positive is the location of Pattaya. So I briefly touched on it just before. Pattaya is so close to the major city like Bangkok. You're only an hour and a half to 2 hours away from Bangkok. You've got the islands nearby like Koh Lan. You've got Koh Samet. You've got Koh Chang as well. I mean, it's not super close, but you're a lot closer than you are from Bangkok. So you've got the islands nearby as well. You're close to cities like Rayong, and you're close to Sattahip, you're close to Bang Sen. All of those places you're very close to. You've also got Cha Cheong Sao. So Pattaya's location, man, you cannot go wrong with this place. Like, seriously, like, you're in a great location here in Pattaya, especially if you don't like the big city like Bangkok. Pattaya is a great alternative, especially if you want to be in like a medium-sized city and you still want to have easy access to some of the places like Bangkok and all of that close to you. You're in a great location in Pattaya. Seriously, one of the best locations in Thailand. Just amazing. You'll definitely find it easy here in regards to the location. The next positive, obviously, Pattaya is a beachside town. It's a beachside city. So obviously, those can argue that the beach is obviously not that great, which it isn't. It wouldn't recommend swimming in the sea, let's just put it that way. Wouldn't recommend swimming in the sea, but again, a beach is a beach. A beach is nature. It's way better than being stuck in Bangkok and not having a beach close to you. Pattaya, you got a beach very close to you, especially depending on the location. Whether you're in Jom Tien, whether you're in Pratumnak, whether you're in central Pattaya, you've got a beach very close to you, and you can go there for walks, you can go there for exercise, and it's just a great place to hang out as well. Of course, you've got lots of people around, and it's a very great place to be, especially if you want to be close to the beach. The beach is not so nice by any means, but it's still a beach, man. Love it. And the last positive for me is the Western food. So obviously, as I said at the start of this video, Pattaya is a very foreigner-friendly city. You've got a ton, especially if you're a Westerner, tons of Western food options. You've got everything under the sun here. If you want burgers, you want pizza, you want all of your Western comforts. You've got a Hooters here as well for your American subscribers. You've got all of that here for you. You've also got your foreigner, you also got your imported supermarkets. So if you want some of your Western comforts from back home, like if you're an Australian and you want some Vegemite, you can go there and to the Villa Market at the Avenue Mall. You can grab some Vegemite. You've got all of those sort of things that you miss from back home, like in terms of Western food and Western comforts. You can find them here in Pattaya very easily. All right, and now the not so good. So the bad here in Pattaya. So I'm gonna say right now, the good outweighs the bad, in my opinion. So I'm gonna go through the bad. So in terms of the food, as I said before, the Western food options, very vast here. But your food options here in Pattaya can be a little bit more expensive than other places in Thailand. Obviously, there are a lot more foreigners here in Pattaya, so they're going to increase the price a little bit more on certain things. Even Thai food as well, for example. Like if you want a good Thai dish, you can expect to pay a little bit more here in Pattaya, maybe 10 or 20% more, maybe 20% more than what you would find in Bangkok, for example. I found Bangkok to be a lot cheaper in regards to Thai food. Obviously, Bangkok is a massive city. You got a massive population, so you're not going to be finding. Pattaya, obviously being a foreigner, a tourist town, they're going to be charging a bit more for food. So I'm going to include that as a negative, just for that reason. But again, I mean, it's not that much more, but it's still a negative. So if you're here and you want some Thai food, you are going to pay a little bit more than what you would pay in Bangkok. All right, now the crowd. This is going to be a very interesting, I don't know how I'm going to word this next part. So the crowd here. So this can be both for the guys, and I'm talking foreigners, and also the Thai women, especially if you're a single guy, I'm talking about. So the foreigners here, obviously, again, this is a place for the nightlife. If you're here for the nightlife, you're a single guy, obviously Pattaya is the king of all the cities for that. And with that nightlife, you're going to find the type of foreigners here are going to be the tourists that come here for that reason. They're not going to be your very happy, positive tourists like myself who are just wanting to experience everything Thailand has to offer. No, there's going to be people here that just want to experience one thing. They just wanted to experience the fun part. They just want to be here for fun, if you know what I mean. So they're going to be here for that. And you know, if you're alone here, you're a single guy and you want to hang out with some guys and you just want to go out in the town, that's perfectly fine. But you're definitely going to find some guys here that are more on the negative side. They're also going to be talking a lot of bad stuff about Thailand. They're going to be sort of just, you know, then a lot of them are just not happy, and I don't know if it's just the environment here, obviously lots of bars and lots of that sort of stuff, but you'll meet some foreigners here that are not so friendly, and you know, it's just it's not the place to make friends that you know sort of hang out with, that you know that you can sort of trust, I guess. Is that a right sort of term to say? I don't know if that's right or not, but in my opinion, it's not the place to find you know, guys you can trust, you know, foreign friends you can trust. Obviously, it is a great place to hang out with guys here and go out on the night on the town. Obviously, perfect place for that. And you won't have a problem finding people you can hang out with that in terms of that sort of aspect of Thailand. But if you just want to chill and just do some things and, you know, maybe travel together or something, go around and travel, you're not going to be finding those sort of people here in Pattaya very easily. They're here. There's a certain type of guys here that are here for one reason, and that's for the fun, for the ladies. So I'm just putting it out there in terms of the guys. But again, on the flip side, you've got the women here, obviously. Ah dear, the Thai women here. So the Thai women here, a lot of them are here obviously to make money, and again, it's not a knock on them. I'm just trying to make this in terms of, I'm talking about if you're living here on a long-term basis. And you know, it's very, very difficult to find, when I was saying before, it's hard to find guys you can sort of trust here. The same can be said for girls, absolutely. It is very hard to find women you can trust here. So you're gonna have that issue as well. So just so you guys know, you know, especially if you're here on a long-term sort of basis, that sort of aspect, you're gonna find the girls here can be they're obviously so different to what you would expect in, you know, a place like Bangkok, where they're, you know, a place like Bangkok or a place like Hua Hin. You know, this place is the type of crowd here. They're obviously so used to foreigners, and you're not gonna find that authentic Thai friendliness and smile that you would find in other places. You'll find it, but you're not going to find the really authentic, really genuine Thai hospitality that they're really known for in other parts of Thailand. So yeah, again, this is not for most of the women. There's just a small portion of these women here. This is not a place, again, if you're a single guy, this is not the place to find your true love, believe me. And again, this has been said multiple times, but there's obviously guys here that come here and they fall in love with a bar girl or a freelance or whatever it is. They'll fall in love with that girl, and they lose all their money. So yeah, that's a big problem. And again, that's a negative for me, is the crowd. You'll find certain people that are not really respectful, especially if you're, you know, I'm a guy with that really cares about manners, and I really expect, you know, if I do something good for someone, I expect, you know, if I'm good with someone, I expect them to be good back with me. Some of the time you don't get that in return, especially when it's to do with manners. And again, I don't know if it's just the way the crowd they're sort of interacting with, the guys treat them like crap, or like, you know, again, it can be a very toxic place, this one. So just so you know, again, it's not the place to come for that authentic, genuine Thai hospitality and friendliness. Let me just put it that way. But it's not for everyone, every single girl that you meet. There's just a certain portion of them that I've found it can be that way. So yeah, that's what I found. While we're on that sort of topic, I'm going to include the nightlife here as a bit of a negative. Now, it depends on sort of what side you're on. I'm talking more about the nightlife. The nightlife can be a little bit too much here, and again, I'm going to repeat myself. I'm talking about the aspect of living here on a long-term basis. This video is called Living in Pattaya. This is not a video about holidaying in Pattaya. It is about living in Pattaya. Now, if you want to live here in Pattaya on a long-term basis, you cannot, under any circumstances, be going to bars every single day. You're going to run out of money. How, if you're rich, of course, and you got a ton of money, you got nothing to worry about, then obviously, yes, you'll be absolutely having a blast, living like a rock star. But if you're the type of guy, or just a normal guy, normal dude with an average budget, and you're on a budget here, you cannot be going to bars every single day. You cannot be going to experiencing the nightlife every single day. That can be said for any city in Thailand, but especially here in Pattaya, because the temptation here of the nightlife is so high. You've got so much temptation here as a single guy. So I'm going to include that as a negative, because you know, it can certainly, obviously, lead you to some money loss, and you're going to be losing a lot of money if you get sucked into these sort of temptations, because they're everywhere here. You've got massage shops, you've got bars, you've got everything. You know, just walking past people on the street, they may smile at you and greet you, you know, that sort of thing. Guys can be easily sucked into that sort of thing, obviously. So it's just something to be aware of, and you know, just don't go to the bars every single day. If you're living here, you're going to run out of money very, very quickly. So the temptation of that aspect of the nightlife is very, very is a negative for me, absolutely, because you cannot be going to that sort of thing every single day. Now, obviously, I was here during a pandemic, and the restrictions sort of came through a few days earlier prior to me arriving here and checking in, staying here for the 2 months. So throughout this time that I've been here in Pattaya, all the bars have been closed, and there's virtually been no nightlife. There's only been the restaurants that are open, and you've got the massage shops that have just recently opened, but they only offer a foot massage. And again, this is during a pandemic. When I was here was during a pandemic. So again, if you're watching this video in the future, it may be a lot different to what you're experiencing now. So just keep that in mind. But yes, when I was here, I didn't really have that temptation. So it was kind of a blessing for me, to be honest, that I was here when the restrictions sort of came through, and I didn't really have to worry about the temptations that you would have to worry about if you're here when it's under normal circumstances, when the bars are open and everything's open. So I didn't have that to worry about, which was actually a blessing for me. So I was kind of very lucky, and when I think about it, like, yeah, it worked out well for me. It was kind of a blessing in disguise. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. And the last one, now Pattaya can be, you can find here in Pattaya some scammers here, absolutely. And I'm talking about many types of scammers. You've obviously got the people who overcharge you. You got like the jet ski scams here on the beach. They will overcharge you, or they'll sort of ask you for like your passports prior to going on the jet ski, and when you return the jet ski back to the vendor, they'll sort of spot it, like they'll point out like a little minor blemish on the jet ski, or that you damaged it, and they'll try and put the blame on you, and then they won't give your passport back, and they'll ask for an extreme amount of money in return. That's happened to a lot of people. If you don't know about that, obviously look it up on YouTube, the Pattaya jet ski scam. It's all over YouTube. Obviously I didn't have to worry about that again right now, because there's no tourists here, and those scammers are not really here right now. So again, it's a blessing for me. But I was never even going to use a jet ski like that here in Pattaya. The beach is not nice for that, so I wouldn't be using that here. But and you know, it is here. The scam is here. So you got that. You've obviously got people who are trying to rip you off. So you just got to be careful here. And I'm not going to say Pattaya is a dangerous city by any means. I feel perfectly safe here in Pattaya. I walk at all times of the night. I feel perfectly safe. I've never felt unsafe in this place, let me tell you. It's not a knock on Pattaya. I'm just saying there can be certain scammers here. You got lots of vendors here that are trying to sell you fake stuff on the street, and you know, all of that sort of stuff here. It's a lot more scams around here compared to what you might find in a normal place like Bangkok or a city like Chiang Mai, you know, something like that. I haven't been to Chiang Mai, but you know, I've heard about that. So you just got to keep that in mind when you're here. So those are my overall thoughts, the good versus the bad here in Pattaya. That's just my thoughts. Again, you might have different opinions, you might have different feelings on that. If you do, please leave a comment down below with your thoughts. What are your positives? What are your negatives about living in the city of Pattaya? If you have lived here, please comment down below. I would love to hear what other people have to say about living here. I've certainly had an interesting time here in Pattaya. I'm going to say this as my general verdict. Pattaya is not a place to live on a long-term basis. I'm going to say that right now. If you're here wanting to start a family, or you just want to live here on a long-term basis, I wouldn't really recommend living here on a long-term basis. Pattaya is the perfect place for a holiday, and I would absolutely come here for a week, 2 weeks, even 1 month. I think 1 month is perfectly fine for staying here in a place like Pattaya. But if you're talking about like a long-term basis, I would struggle to live here on a long-term basis. I would absolutely struggle. After 2 months living here, I'm already feeling like I've just had enough of Pattaya, and I don't really want to feel that way because I love this place. There's so many good things about this place, but a lot of the time things can be just too much here for me, and it is just a place for a holiday. I wouldn't live here on a full-time basis. So just for that reason alone, I'm gonna say perfect for a holiday. For a long-term basis, living here, not so much. In terms of locations around Pattaya, what I've noticed in general, the people, the expats and the Thai people, they often live in the Jomtien and Pratamnak areas. Those areas, they're very busy right now in terms of the pandemic. They're very, very busy. It's like the pandemic isn't really happening because most of them are all in Jomtien and Pratamnak. That's where they all live, all the expats. Central Pattaya, where I'm staying right now, is very, very quiet, especially in the nighttime. This place is more for the tourists who come here for holidays. So you're not going to be finding the general crowd here that live here in the central Pattaya sort of area. You're all going to be finding them in Jomtien and Pratamnak and Naklua, those sort of areas. Central Pattaya is more for the tourists, and then they got all the main concentration of the hotels are here, all the shopping malls are here. Again, it's a perfect place if you're here, if you don't ride a motorbike, you just want to walk around everywhere. Highly recommend Central Pattaya. But if you're wanting to live like sort of a normal, sort of long-term life, if you really, really want to live in Pattaya on a long-term basis, I wouldn't recommend staying in the Central Pattaya area. I'd recommend staying in Jomtien or Pratamnak, absolutely. But Pattaya, Central Pattaya, again, more for just the tourists, your average tourists. So what do you guys think of this video? Again, leave your comments down below with your thoughts, especially if you lived here in Pattaya previously. I would love to hear your comments as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Please make sure to subscribe to this channel for videos coming up in the future, and also click the notification bell to be notified of any upcoming videos, and please click the thumbs up button on this video. It really helps out the channel as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm very, very grateful for your time. God is good. Let the journey continue.